YouTube. Good evening to all you. Bobby Lashley. I don't know why I said Bobby Lashley, because we're not talking about Raw yet. We're talking about Smackdown first. But of course, we will be referring to the man who says his name this way, Bobby Lashley, in the Raw review. But guys, what is going on? This is the Club with the Man 1993. I'm here to give you a quick review of this past Friday's episode of Smackdown, the January 20th edition, 2023 of Smackdown, and it took place at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan, home of Big Daddy Cool Diesel, Kevin Nash, of course, as well. This show was solid. I mean, it was heavily involved with this tag tournament to crown a new number one contender for not the undisputed titles, just the SmackDown titles. The Usos defended the Raw tag titles on Raw 30 this past Monday, which I'll be reviewing that one tonight as well, which that show I'm excited to talk about. We'll get to it in a bit. So, this show heavily involved around that, and I was fine with it. I guess the only problem I had with it being heavily involved in that tournament, it involved a lot of teams that nobody's really taking seriously right now. Like, okay, tournaments like this, I can appreciate, but if you're sticking a bunch of teams that have no characters, that are flat, some of these matches nobody's going to give a crap about. And I'm not saying they're all, there's really only maybe one team that I literally have no desire in even trying to get invested at all, which of course is the Maximum Male Models. Jobbers for life. Sorry, guys. The other ones, it's just they still need seasoned, of course. So that kind of hurt the show a little bit. But other than that, there is the stuff with Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville that just literally, again, just making no sense. But also, of course, the highlight, is the stuff with Roman Reigns, the Bloodline, Sami Zayn. Oh boy, again, I cannot wait to talk about that segment on Raw, though, in the Raw review. But so this one was solid. I don't have too much to say, so I'm probably gonna fly through this one quickly, and then of course we'll get to the Raw review in the next video. My plan tonight is at least to do those two reviews. I still gotta make the graphics for Rumble, but I do have a couple of my Thursday night shows I like to watch. So I'll work on the Rumble graphics while I watch those. I'll most likely be too tired after that to do the Rumble stream. Maybe I'll do it, who knows. But if not, then I'll do that tomorrow before SmackDown. But yeah, let's talk about last week's episode of SmackDown. Again, it was solid. I didn't hate it. And as I keep saying, the thing that, of course, again, I can at least, what I can, at least appreciate is, again, yes, there was a bunch of people on this show that was you don't take seriously right now. But you're not trying to insult us. That's what I continue to appreciate, at least about Triple H is right. Yes, we have some shows that have been filler lately, but they're not shows that they're trying to just insult us. At least. He's not trying to play around with us. As long as he's still in charge. Because, this creative stuff isn't easy. As he said on Raw this past week. I'm talking about Raw 30. I loved Raw 30. SmackDown, this was solid. Okay, I'm repeating myself. Let's roll in and let's talk about this show. So again, the big highlight of this, of course, was, the fallout from last week's episode of SmackDown, where Sami Zayn was given a big task by trying to take out the big problem with the Bloodline, which again is Kevin Owens, who will be Roman Reigns' opponent this Saturday at the Royal Rumble in a undisputed championship match. Well, of course, Sami Zayn was a little, upset because the Usos got involved, and he's like, I thought I was told I had to do this by myself. So, the Bloodline's arriving, everybody's, handshaking, smiling, and everything, except for Roman Reigns, who, when Sami Zayn's like, hey, what's going on? Going for a fist bump, Roman was just that. You ever work with, that one boss where it's You don't think they hate you, but at the same time, it's like they act all serious around you. Like it's like it's like, hey, want to be buddies? It's like, no, I got my game face on basically. So it's kind of like that. More so like this guy, and keep walking. It's like, wait, do you hate me? Do you not hate me? So kind of left Sami Zayn in some uncertainty. So that was the tone that was set, of course, for the show. As of course the closing segment was going to be the contract signing with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. So, of course, that happened, so leaving us wondering, what's going on. So, the first match, they had 4 tag matches. Again, which were all the first rounds of this 18 tournament to crown a new number 1 contender for the Smackdown tag titles. And then the first match, again, was the Banger Bros, which is Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. I keep saying Sheamus anymore. But Drew McIntyre and Sheamus taking on the Viking Raiders. And again, Viking Raiders, I mean, this was one I was maybe a little bit more interested in, but I gotta be real. I'm intrigued by what they've done with the Viking Raiders. I'm intrigued. They've added in Sarah Logan as Valhalla. But other than being a lackey, what really has she done? Like, I'm waiting for some character development still. Because, again, that's the thing that, for a couple years since the Viking Raiders, when they were War Raiders, got called up as the Viking Raiders, got called up, and again, just that name change just sucked the ever-living life out of them. Like, so bad that there was remember when they were, like, it was like a year or two ago, they were walking down the ramp going, Raid! 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 Like, when I saw that, I'm thinking, okay, they're the newest Ascension. They're on their way out. Again, Triple H taking over and kind of like turning them heel, changing them up a bit has like helped them, but it's like, okay, you kind of got into like a gear and a half, but it's like, get to gear 2. Like again, like there's something there, but again, there needs to be more character development with what they're doing with the Viking Raiders. But the match, again, was still solid. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus won that, and moving on, they're going to be facing the winner of Hit Row and Los Lotharios, which they were the second match, which we'll get to that in a bit. After this match, we had a backstage segment with Sami Zayn trying to talk to the Tribal Chief. Sami mentions, I can't help but noticing you were acting a little frosty. And one of his everything's cool. But Roman says he saw how he looked last week, and he's trying to cover it up tonight. So he wants to hear what's bothering you, Sami. And Sami again says he was a little upset last week because he took a lot of pride in being put in charge of the Kevin Owens problem. And he was told to do it by himself. He was told the Usos and Solo weren't there. And when they came out, he felt a little slighted not knowing the Usos were coming out. And Owens keeps saying he's being used, and basically he was implying for a split second he kind of believes Owens. And then Roman just snaps, he's like, get out. I'm not doing this every week. Just get out. It blows his mind that he thinks he's being asked to run his game plan past the Honorary Us. Just to go find KO and your bloodline and stop using him. And of course, Heyman tells a stunned Sami Zayn, of course, to leave. So basically, he's just like, you really expect that you have to, be in touch, know what's going on. So basically, Sami's like, I wanted to, which would communicate that with me better. But of course, Roman was like, that's not by my rules. We're under my house. We're playing by my rules. So he tells Sami to get out. So then you're like, this is going to lead to Sami coming out and, teaming with Owens? Is this where the turn full on happens? Or this was just like a seed being planted? But we'll continue on. We have Raquel Rodriguez basically hyped up the women's Royal Rumble, which we don't have. As of today, I believe we have 7 or 8 women who have announced their entry in the Rumble. Yeah. That's got to change. Well, actually, here's the thing. I don't know if it should change, but at least a little bit more. But don't give away all the surprises, or at least almost all of them like you did last year. Last year you had you're saying that Lita was going to be there, the Bella twins, who of course flipped out on Instagram this past week because of Raw not being booked on Raw 30 and how they booked the whole Divas Evolution thing, you know, for Raw 30, but they're probably not going to be around that. Oh yeah, the WWE Legend Summer Rae, not. But all that jazz. But Raquel Rodriguez hyped up. Okay, only 7 people, but maybe a few more they could have announced. But I'm sure there's going to be some people who haven't been announced that's on the roster that will be in the Rumble. LA Knight has a match with a jobber named Greg Jones. He basically talks trash about Bray Wyatt's cryptic stuff, and he'll turn his switch off at Rumble. But after LA Knight squashed Greg Jones, Bray Wyatt appears, and he's back in the Firefly Funhouse. And of course, there was a shot after they kind of did like the exterior shots of the Funhouse where they showed Bray Wyatt like, you know, leaning forward, but they had like his wasp logo covering his rear end, implying that his pants were pulled down or something like that, which is weird, but you know, it was what it is. But anyways, abandon all hope who exit here is written on the Firefly Funhouse door. But then of course, Bray, after realizing his plumber's crack was, you know, revealed, he puts finishing touches on the door and welcomes us to the Firefly Funhouse. Now, he missed us and can't wait to have fun with his friends once again. Rambling Rabbit talks about how LA Knight is like The Miz, but with muscles, and he's scared of the dark, so it isn't the Pitch Black match, it's the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match is going to be very scary. Bray's like, what kind of deranged ding-dong names their son Los Angeles Knight before, basically saying how LA Knight's in Los Angeles Knight before telling Rambling it's normal to be afraid. Things like to hide in the dark, and you should be scared. And the image crumbles, and Uncle Howdy laughs and laughs, saying he just needs a little push. And then Bray then comes back to Bray, and he says he hopes his son is fine, but he understands he opened the door, and whatever comes through, it is his problem. See you at Rumble, LA! So we'll talk about that, of course, when we get to the Rumble preview predictions. Hit Row beat Los Lotharios. Again, I don't know who the heels were because they're both heels now. Again, Los Lotharios I could care about because I do enjoy both and Angelo Guerrero. Where did I get that name from? Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. I could care about them more, but again, they've not been used on TV much, so they're being used as jobbers too. But I actually do I can't talk. I'm trying to rush through everything. I actually am intrigued by them, but of course, they're not booked seriously, so why not? And then Hit Row, they didn't really explain, of course, why they turned heel in the end. Well, you know, it's kind of obvious. You know, Top Dog got sick of people making fun of him for his botch. But another team that just needed a little more character development before I could seriously take them. They're going to face the Banger Bros, Drew McIntyre and Sheamus next week. But yeah, as I keep saying, like, you know, Hit Row's needs some work too. Again, it's just I just don't think they're the same without Swerve. But we'll see what happens now that they're back to being heels, as we can see there. Braun Strowman cuts a promo about how he's going to win the Royal Rumble. By the way, since they both cut promos, are him and Raquel Rodriguez still together? I haven't seen any posts about them for the longest time, and for a while they were, you know, like not like overbearingly, but they were, you know, showing posts here and there with them on social media. So are they still together? I don't know. Anyways, we didn't have this segment with Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. Sonya doesn't care what this dirty, disgusting city wants. She cares about what she wants and deserves as a title opportunity. And you get off your high horse and you'd see she's a star every time she's walked through the curtain. And then, of course, Charlotte says she sees it and Sonya is a star and she always told this, but is she saying the other women in the back aren't stars? Blah, 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 this and that. Flair calls her arrogant and entitled. So she wants the title, get in line, go to the Rumble. But if she wants to fight, she's happy to help. But Sonya does not want to fight unless Charlotte puts the title on the line. Adam Pearce comes out, and Sonya then immediately clobbers Charlotte with a forearm in the back and then scuffles off. So, I gotta say this. Again, I know I've said recently that Sonya's lost momentum. Now I'm really starting to feel like Sonya's becoming like the Baron Corbin of the women's division. Like, she lost fair and square to Charlotte recently. Why is she trying to be an entitled, selfish little brat trying to get in a title shot? I hate this book. I don't know. I hate this booking. Like, okay, it's one thing to kind of like, go like out of their ways, but this is like petty stuff. Like, I'm not really enjoying this. Like, I keep hoping Sonya gets back to form like she was in like 2020, but again, her authority figure thing was fine. But then, like I said, once like there was like no payoff to her and Naomi, and we never found out why Sonya disliked Naomi so much, then I kind of stopped caring. So they got a little work to bring Sonya back to where she was in 2020, hopefully. Who knows? Anyways, then we have another segment backstage with Roman Reigns. He tells Wise Men, can you believe Sammy? And then Heyman says he hasn't liked Sammy since day one, but he supports Roman's vision for the Island of Relevancy. And he just perhaps says if he could take into his ruthless consideration, isn't it better to keep Sammy on side before defending the title against Kevin Owens? He basically said something like, I basically have him inside the castle pissing out rather than outside the castle pissing in, basically. So basically, he's trying to say, pull him back in, keep him on, our side against the title shot against Kevin Owens. We also had another military-oriented Lacey Evans promo. Then we had a match with the Brawling Brutes and Imperium. Now, this match is good. I was into this match a lot more because, of course, I love Imperium. And again, I've grown to like the Brawling Brutes. I wish Pete Dunne would be called Pete Dunne again, not Butch, but this was a great match. Excellent chemistry, of course, between these guys. We all know, of course, from their Donnybrook match, with Gunther and Sheamus in the match at Extreme Rules in that 6-man Donnybrook match, but these guys are always great. Imperium, though, do get the victory. Part of me wants Imperium to win this tournament, but I'm pretty sure it's probably going to go back to McIntyre and Sheamus. But it would be nice to see Imperium win. But they're going to face the winner of the final match, which is later on. But anyways, we also see Sami Zayn then sitting alone on a road case where Heyman rolls up and tells them the tribal chief would like to see him. We get another hype promo for a Rumble from Shayna Baszler. Then we have Karrion Kross cutting a promo about his match against Rey Mysterio next week. Says he usually gets hyped before matches, but not this time because Rey can't decide if he's a family man or the greatest in the business. After he takes him out, he's going to win the Rumble as well. So Karrion Kross will be in the Rumble too. Wonder if they have any plans for Romania. I'd be interested to see that. Then the one match I literally just did not care about at all was Legado del Fantasma and Maximum Male Models. Look, again, I do love Santos Escobar. And the Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde have improved a little. So I still care about the rest of Legado del Fantasma a little. Maximum Male Models, I just give no craps about it all whatsoever. But Legado del Fantasma win. Maximum Male Models are out of the tournament, and they will face Imperium next week in the semifinals. So it looks like it'll probably be the Banger Bros versus Imperium in the finals. And again, I'm still kind of hoping Imperium gets the win. But we will see. So, then we get, of course, the last portion. First, we have Sami Zayn returning to the Bloodline's locker room. And then, when Sami sits down, Roman says it's no secret that he's got a temper. And that's why he puts people in place, like the Wise Man, to counsel that anger. But apparently he wasn't hearing Sami. He understands he just wanted clear communication to become part of the game plan, part of the team. And Sami's a perfectionist, just like Roman. Which is why they get along and why this works. And of course, Sami's like, oh, thank you for understanding. Thank you. And Roman's like, not yet. Roman says, because Sami said he walked in here expecting the worst and it means the world to hear that from him. Roman says that's on him, and he expects the same amount of love and respect and loyalty that he gives out. And Sami says they all love him. He's the one steering the whole ship, and it's nothing without him. And he says he'll always put what's best for the bloodline and this family first. Anytime and anything, just tell him he'll do it. So then Roman gives him a job. He says, find the Usos, make sure they're in place. The SUVs are ready, the pilots are ready, and the jet's ready to go. So they can get out of here once the contracts are signed. And then Sami's like, it's better than done, and thanks him again. And he offers a fist bump. Roman says he owes him one and gives him the bump. And then Heyman whispers a thank you of his own as Sami leaves to go get, all that done. So Sami's off getting all that set up. So then Roman Reigns comes out to make his entrance for the contract signing. Of course, in the ring is Pierce. And as Roman comes out and Solo's with him, Kevin Owens comes out of nowhere and lays out Roman Reigns with a stunner, and he super kicks Solo. And then the Usos just crash the ring. And then Owens just takes out everybody from the bloodline, and was finishing it up with a pop-up power bomb on Roman through the table. As KO signs a contract, and as he finishes signing the contract, then here comes Sami Zayn. So kind of thing where okay, he wanted to be part of the game plan. He was going to do Roman's task. But then, obviously, he was busy, doing that to realize, hey, SOS, the bloodline need help. Kevin Owens is running wild on everybody. So by the time he got there, it was too late. And of course, Owens, throws the contract at Sami and then goes to the crowd. Then the Usos tend to Roman. So obviously, Sami does not feel like he did things right. And then it was announced, originally, we're going to be having a acknowledgement ceremony of all generations of the family of the tribal chief on Raw is 30. Which is what led to a lot of people thinking maybe The Rock is coming back on Raw is 30. But after this segment, it was changed to Sami Zayn basically being put on trial. You'll have to find out next. Because let me tell you something. Brother, that segment was awesome. That was, oh gosh, we'll wait for it and get there. But of course, even though they didn't mention it, it happened because of this segment here. Sami Zayn, yes, was given a task to do, but when the bloodline was in trouble, he wasn't there. So of course, yes, you feel for Sami, but does Roman have any mercy on Sami? We'll have to find out next when we do my Raw is 30 review. We'll do that one next. So guys, that's our SmackDown review. Again, the stuff with, of course, Roman Reigns and the Bloodline was, awesome as usual. Again, some of the tag matches were solid, but again, like I said, there's just some that's the characters need work. And I look forward to seeing them get more season, except if you're the Maximum Male Models. I don't give a crap about you. And also, I don't care about the stuff with Sonya and Charlotte. I really don't care about it. So, I gave the show a B+. It was still a solid show. It's just, we'll leave it at that. But of course, that again, I will review Raw is 30 next. And again, either later on tonight or tomorrow, early tomorrow evening for SmackDown, I will do my Royal Rumble preview and predictions as well, which I'm not going to deny have been pretty tough to try to determine. Of course, we'll talk about that though when we get there. But I'll see you guys shortly for my Raw is 30 video. What are you guys' thoughts on this episode of SmackDown? Again, I gave it a B-. Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comments section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. And follow me on Twitter at the Club of the Man 93. And be sure, as always, to shout for meatball sub. And follow me on TikTok at the Club of the Man 1993. I will maybe try to post a couple shorts in there with some like Rumble thoughts or something. I gotta get some TikToks posting again there if that is gonna be taken seriously. But of course, again, life just happens. So guys, I'll be back up here very shortly for my Raw review. I'm checking out, guys. I'll catch you guys all very soon. Peace out, everybody.